Everything is too expensive, especially when starting out. So today I'm covering 51 free tools that are just as good as the paid options pros use, if not better. I'm talking free alternatives to the entire Adobe suite, free organizational tools, free creative tools, free sound effects, music, free video, graphics, photos, and of course, at the end, free YouTuber tools that every pro is using that you should as well. Time codes in the description, as well as links to everything we cover, counter on screen, timer on screen. Let's begin. If we're starting with Adobe alternatives, the most important one to cover is Davinci Resolve. If you're looking to edit video or learn professional color grading, then Davinci Resolve's free version is a powerhouse. I used this for years when I couldn't afford Adobe to edit and color grade professional documentaries. It has all the major features that you will need, and anything missing from the free version has likely been coded by a community member as a plugin and released for free. I get asked daily in our community server what editing software to start with, and the answer is and will always be, if you want to become an amazing editor, learn Davinci Resolve. Bonus, Blackmagic, the guys who created it, are an Australian company, so you know they're good, and they have some of the best work ethic and tools in the industry. You'll actually see them appear later in the video because they have one of the best phone apps that you can download as a creative person. That's video, but what do we use for images? Well, Photopea is up there as a direct competitor and probably the closest thing to Photoshop. It has, I'd say, 90% of the same tools Photoshop does, a similar interface, thousands of free templates, hundreds of tutorials supporting you to learn the tools. It works on Windows, Mac, and even most decent phones. It is an entirely local software, so you don't need to use a cloud to save your images, unlike some tools. And because they support the .psd file extension, it means you can even take Photoshop projects or free Photoshop templates and drag them directly into Photopea for use. Both Davinci Resolve and Photopea are amazing and work directly with today's sponsor, Ulanzi UStudio. I started using the Ulanzi UStudio 71 stream controller to speed up my creative workflow a few weeks ago, and it is amazing. I use this little macro keyboard to control my entire creative studio, from Premiere Pro, DaVinci, Photoshop, you name it. Whatever I'm doing, my hand is glued to this thing. For example, when I record my gaming videos, I use a system called the donkey method, where I stop the recording and start it again when a key moment I need to include in the video happens. Meaning, rather than skimming 10 hours of footage, I just skip to the end of each clip, and there are my key moments. And because the UStudio works directly with OBS, I can program a start recording and stop recording button. And if I don't want to press it twice to start and stop it, I can even make a multi-action so that one tap starts it, and then stops it and starts the recording again for me. But what if I'm not video editing, but instead making a thumbnail or drawing in Photoshop? Well, I can use the profiles to quickly swap between the software or make folders for each program. And rather than set up my Photoshop hotkeys from scratch, which is a huge chore, I instead downloaded their Photoshop profile and just edited it to fit my needs. It doesn't stop there either, because this is also an SD and TF card reader, so I can take footage or raw photos from my camera and easily transfer them directly to my PC without needing an extra dock. Heck, I've even started using it in my daily life to open different apps, certain browsers, control my Spotify, control my Twitch chat, you name it. And thanks to the profiles I mentioned earlier, it's one click to switch. The LCD keys are fully customizable from image, text, and of course brightness. And the craziest thing is this little device, despite having more packed into it, it's also half the price of other stream controllers on the market. So in today's video, if you see this symbol in the bottom right, it means the Ulanzi either works directly with the software I'm talking about using a plugin, or you can program it using macro shortcuts that work directly in the tool. Link in the description, check this thing out. Getting back into Adobe alternatives, personally, I think Davinci is the go-to for video, but I know a lot of people swear by Capcut, especially their mobile tools for working on TikTok or other vertical short format content. It has auto captions, for example, and a lot of other options that are more focused towards that niche after all. But it is missing a few things like multi-track audio editing or some of the tools a pro would need that Davinci or Premiere has built in. But Capcut also has a phone app, I believe, so it's really up to what you're trying to achieve. If Photopea isn't for you, another great option is Gimp. No, not this guy, this guy. I don't think Gimp is as smooth or as powerful as Photopea, but it's been around a very long time. So long, in fact, when I was in grade 4, this is what we learned for photo editing. Imagine 30 plus 7-year-old Australians in a state-of-the-art computer lab at school that was actually just 6 of these computers in a small back room that we had to share. We learned Gimp on that. It's a staple of my life, okay? Similar to Photoshop, but less focused on photo manipulation and more on the digital art side, Krita is a free alternative for artists looking to focus on drawing and painting. It's really great. I just wanted to include it because if you're focused on drawing, you should check it out. And if you're looking to make graphics or thumbnails using templates, you can also check out Canva. It has millions of templates, a huge library of tools for photo editing, such as background removal, and I'd say 70% of it is free, while also being web-based as well, so you can work across different computers on the same project. Okay, that is video, that is photo and drawing, but what about audio by itself? That has to be Audacity. It's a free tool, it's been around for years. It looks a bit daunting at first, but so does every audio editing software. And if you're keen on editing audio only, such as podcasts or anything else, this will be the go-to for you. Getting into organizational tools, I want to quickly add a massive caveat. I know this is just a free tool video, but it's so crucial to understand organization is a curse that will ruin your entire life. Okay, well, maybe just ruin your productivity. If you spend 3 hours filling out a calendar to plan what days you're scripting, that isn't as good as actually just spending an hour scripting. Planning and organization is called motion. It feels good, it feels productive to an extent, but action is the thing that gets you closer to actually producing results, and that will always be better. Do not trust those Twitter idiots posting about their Notion setups and how complex or impressive they are. They don't make art, they don't make content, they make posts about their organization to get likes and feel better about themselves. With that said, the most powerful organization tool has to be Notion. It can literally do anything, has thousands of templates, and I've never needed to upgrade to the paid version. The free version works perfectly fine for me. Notion, however, is the biggest culprit of causing creators to focus on motion rather than action. You don't need anything crazy. As someone who does video production and YouTube, I just have a simple 12-column system that is labeled the different stages of production. I make a card for each video, and as I move the project through the stages of production, the card moves through as well, so I can track it. Simple, easy, allows me to focus on action. That said, if you want to focus on action, another great option for a similar setup is just Trello. It works the same as how I set up Notion, but has a lot less options outside of that, which actually makes it harder to be stuck in organizational motion hell. I like Trello. Something I love that's simple and every creator I know loves to use is Discord. And I don't mean for talking to your friends until 3 a.m. in the middle of a Phasmophobia lobby. No, we make ourselves private Discord servers. They include notes, reminders, research, art references, thumbnail ideas, you name it, anything you want. Of course, I wouldn't post any crucial private information in it, but also I wouldn't put that in Notion or Trello either. But for overall organizational tools that you can access from anywhere that has the Discord app, it's incredible. Heck, I even use it for cooking recipes. Moving on, most success in life comes from consistency, because consistency becomes discipline, which becomes habit, and when you have discipline and habit, you no longer need motivation. An app I've used for over 15 years to achieve this is called Streaks. No, not what you find in your undies after a big night, this. You set goals like script daily, make thumbnails, record, draw, whatever it is, and every day you tick it off. If you keep at it, eventually you'll reach 30 days, and for me at least, once a streak such as don't drink soft drink or draw daily reaches 30 days, I will never break that streak again. On the topic of focus, I've been using a brand new phone app, ironically, to stop using my phone and help me focus, called Focus Friends. It was made by YouTuber and all-around stand-up guy Hank Green. Essentially, your little bean, mine's called Bean J, wants to knit, and every time you interrupt him, he gets sad. Just let him knit, man. And when you do, he'll make socks that you can trade to decorate your room. I don't really do the decoration part, I let my wife do that, but it's still kind of neat. You can change how long the focus is for and use the break feature as well. It's helped me a lot to not check my phone, and I also know a few ADHD friends have used this to pretty much change their lives. Next up, Buffer. If you want to write out all of your tweets or posts and let them be scheduled out to release across all your platforms, naturally from one place, Buffer is for you. Personally, I prefer uploading to YouTube manually myself because I love the control, but for things like Twitter or Instagram, I write out a lot of those tweets and Instagram photos in advance because doing it all at once just seems a lot easier and it keeps those platforms active. It does have a paid version, but I've never needed it. Okay, let's talk creative apps. Apps that help you record, capture, edit, convert, fix, or just be more creative. And while it feels weird for me to bring it up because it seems so obvious, I feel like I have to say OBS Studio is the go-to, the best for PC capturing, game capturing, camera capturing, streaming, and generally creating an entire digital studio on your PC. I'm using it right now. I use it daily. I have dozens of guides on OBS, and at its core, it doesn't matter if Streamlabs or Meld or some other crap tries to topple them. OBS is amazing. It will always be the king. And just as amazing is the Blackmagic camera app. Blackmagic, the same guys who do Davinci, released an app that unlocks your entire phone camera, giving you full access over your focus, your exposure, your shutter, your lens type, your FPS, resolutions, white balance, everything you need. It turns your phone, which is already amazing, into a full-blown camera. Moving on, let's say you're trying to just quickly remove the background from an image. It could be the background of a fake PNG you got off Google, which another solution to that frustrating problem coming up, so stay tuned. Or maybe you're trying to remove the background of your headshot. Well, there are two options I really like. The first is Pixlr, and the second is background remover or Remove.bg. Remove.bg is far simpler. You drag your image in, it will take a guess. It's usually pretty perfect, but if not, you just adjust it with the erase and restore tools, whereas Pixlr is a lot more flexible. It's more complicated, but spending 15 minutes playing around, you can easily remove the backgrounds and more. And once you have removed those backgrounds, you could turn them into animated emotes for Twitch, YouTube, Discord, Slack, or even Microsoft Teams with MakeEmoji.com. Drag the transparent file in, and bam, there are 28 animated emotes based on what type of animated emotes are most used online for you to download. Side note, I wrote this script a couple days ago and I said 28 emotes. It's actually over 200 animated emotes now. Cool. Now I'm going to show you a dozen different places to get free music, sound effects, graphics, and some great tools for downloading video and audio off the internet. But first, I want to get a little nerdy and shout out Nerdordie's Webm converter. If you don't know what a Webm is, it's a type of transparent video file that is not very resource intensive, making it perfect for web dev, OBS, and other different tools. The best way to explain it is if I took a green screen of numbers flying around on the screen, and then I used a tool to remove the green and I exported it out as an MP4, it would export with the white numbers flying around and a solid black background. If I exported it as a .mov file with alpha layers included, however, it would be a transparent video file and just show the white numbers. But MOV files are incredibly large and can cause a huge amount of lag on your PC. So you can't use them in OBS, streaming, web dev, or even low-end PCs when editing. For me, that's no problem. I would just export it as a WebM from Premiere Pro or After Effects, but for you, that's not possible because I'm pretty sure Davinci or other lower-end tools don't use WebM for exporting. But they can do MOV with alpha layers. Then you can take that MOV with alpha layers, run it through their converter, bing, bang, bosh, you have a WebM for free that you can use in OBS or on your web dev or whatever else you're planning to use it for. That's how I got a lot of these silly little effects that you can see, which by the way, these effects are a free pack I made and released in our Discord, which will be linked in the description. Speaking of transparency, don't you just fucking hate it when you Google up something for a thumbnail or a graphic or whatever else you need and you want it to be a transparent background PNG, but Google lies to you and says, yeah, it is a transparent background PNG, but it's actually not, and it's just that fucking little box background and it's fake? Don't use Google, use PngWing to search things up and get actual PNGs every time. And if you can't find it on PngWing, then check out ImgBin, which is another option to do something very similar. What if you find a little Twitter video or something else and you really want to save it for later? You probably want Cobalt. Drop a link into it and it will open the video or audio you dropped in. You can click save and get full quality download directly for use. Just remember to be careful because you are downloading someone else's videos most likely and they are copyrighted. Cobalt right now also doesn't work with YouTube because YouTube has done a few things on their API end to stop tools like this. But I think Stacher.io still works and does the exact same thing with even more flexibility. But again, someone else's work, don't steal from artists. If you're downloading it, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Only reason I'm recommending these is because the other option is to use dodgy websites full of porn and gambling ads, so I don't want you guys getting in trouble. Let's talk audio really quickly. This one is a bit weird. It's called Lalal.ai. I hope I've pronounced that right. But it's essentially a tool for cleaning up vocals and removing background sound. It's not perfect by any means, and the free version does have limitations. However, if you check out their demo, you can see quickly how powerful this is for a creator trying to get clean vocals. It has apps for every device and platform. It's drag and drop, easy to use, and just fantastic to have in your back pocket as a creator. In the exact same category is the Adobe Podcast Enhancer tool. Right now, you do need a free account to use this, but knowing Adobe, it'll become paid at some point. I'm including both of these because clean audio is what most of you guys are suffering with, and if you can't set your mic up properly, or if you can't remove that background noise, then hopefully one of these will help. Okay, I have 17 websites for free music, sound effects, images, and videos, but quickly, for Premiere Pro or After Effects users, make sure you're using Mr. Horse. It is the most powerful plugin ever created. It has hundreds of effects, transitions, sounds, and graphics in the free starter pack that every major YouTuber uses. Seriously, check this out right now. Okay, the next 6 tools are assorted locations to get free music from. I'll give a brief rundown of each and what they specialize in, but something important to note is that each will require different rules around crediting them. Some won't require any credit, but others, for example, like Game Chops, who do amazing video game lo-fi, are a service with music that needs credit at the bottom of the video's description. Check the individual websites for the information about what you're supposed to do to credit them. First up, YouTube Audio Library. It was crap when it started, but wow, it has hundreds of thousands of songs and sound effects now. Absolutely worth checking it out. As I mentioned earlier, Game Chops is video game mixes, lo-fi, and other different types of concepts with a lot of retro and Nintendo. Great backing music, great for setting up a video's concept or topic, and overall pretty good during streams as well. I think every single streamer uses them. Incompetech is Kevin MacLeod, and this service or artist has made some of the most well-known pieces of music. You have almost certainly heard his work on a YouTube video at some point in your life. NCS or No Copyright Sound are techno and stronger beats. They've been around since I was a teenager, and if you sort by popular on their YouTube channel and listen to any of the top songs, you'll almost immediately be transported back to watching gaming montages in the golden age of YouTube. Combining 31, 32, and 33, Ben Sound, Scott Buckley, and Film Music. They're just 3 more services that specialize in different types of music, more flexibility, and with that, we're moving on to sound effects. I think you guys likely aren't using sound effects properly, so I want to quickly mention a rule of thumb is that audio is 70% of a video. Far more important than visuals, some would say. So first up, BBC Sound Effects. These guys have collected and released over 50,000 sound effects for free to use in non-commercial projects. Next up, if you're wanting meme sounds or classic pop culture sounds, which I know you are, you can go to my instance and download them there. Technically, these aren't copyright free and anyone can upload to this website, so please be careful. But for meme sounds, you'll likely be semi-safe. One of the largest libraries today is probably freesounds.org. There are over 700,000 free sound effects or songs that are all user submitted, so if you like one, you can even check out the same user and see what else they've submitted. Likely you'll find anything you need there, but if not, it'll absolutely be on Zapsplat or Big Sound Bank, 2 other options as well. We're going to be moving into free video, photo, and images, so let's talk Mixkit.co. This is amazing for not just music and sounds, but also stock video and video templates. There isn't much to say here. It's unlimited free downloads, more is added every week, and they can be used with credit in commercial or non-commercial projects. And the exact same can be said for Pixlr, full of free video, photos, sound, and music. Places that focus just solely on visuals though, starting with Pexels. It has a huge range of video, photo, and illustrations, but if you can't find something there, you absolutely will be able to find it on Unsplash, FreePic, or Envato, 3 other options as well. I hope you don't mind that I hurried through a few of those, but the idea was to give you lots of options and I didn't want to bog you down with hardcore details about each website. Instead, let's talk YouTuber tools because I've got some amazing ones that even if I'm not creating content, I still love to use. Starting with my daily driver of over 6 years now, vidIQ. This extension lets me roughly hunt down search topics with high volume but low competition. So essentially ideas for videos I know users are searching for, but creators aren't uploading enough of. It also gives me these little performance labels on every single video on the platform so I can see if a video is performing better or worse than average for that channel. When I see a video with a high performance tag, it means that video is an outlier and I should take note of the packaging they used because it was likely incredibly effective. I can even scroll down someone's channel, look for their outliers, and then use those to inspire my own thumbnail ideas. Another great option for this is ViewStats. I personally use this to mostly track all the title and thumbnail changes big YouTubers make on their videos because, wow, they do a lot of changes in that first month. And it's great that I can see what they started with, what they tested, and what they ended up using after those tests. vidIQ does this as well, but ViewStats feels more dedicated or clean, I guess, and it seems to have more data across the board. And then I take all of this information I've learned, I'll make myself a thumbnail and title for my video, and when it's all done, I drop it into thumbsup.tv, and I can see how the thumbnail will look on light mode, dark mode, and shrunk down after uploading it to YouTube. I give this tool to every new creator who comes through the Discord. They almost always immediately realize upon using it that their text is too small. There's too many conflicting details, they're trying to make too much go on, and overall, they just need larger, simpler elements in their thumbnails. It's a brilliant and simple tool for suddenly realizing you made a shit thumbnail. Keeping it rolling, I use the Screenshot YouTube extension nearly daily for taking screenshots of information I need to come back to later, graphs that interest me, data that I want to double check and study, even headshots of other creators, or even gear, tech, or brand announcements. It's one click, full resolution, all done. It sounds stupid, but once you start using it, you realize, wow, I love screenshotting YouTube videos. Is that weird? And number 50, YouTube Thumbnail Downloader. Drop a YouTube link in, download a thumbnail at high resolution, and that's it. It's amazing. I don't use this tool often for getting high quality assets to use because you don't want to rip off other creators, and instead I use it to download thumbnails by other creators that have been highly successful as shown by that vidIQ tool earlier. And then I use Photoshop to rip those thumbnails apart, or I'll try to recreate them myself from scratch to learn more about how successful creators make thumbnails and what they see as important. Now, for the special special number 51 shout out, the final free tool I hope I haven't miscounted in this video, the Stream Scheme Discord. Not only are there 80,000 members all working hard to improve themselves, but also a dozen volunteers who range from tech experts, full-time content creators, or just hobbyists who have had channels blow up and they want to share with others. They're all in there to support, but also there are dozens of free animated overlays, stingers, and effects, and more that I've made for you guys to use entirely for free. Check it out, linked in the description, share this video with one other friend, or comment a free tool you use below to help others. I'll see you guys next week.